Alright guys, sorry about the delay. I had some technical issues like I always do. Hello to the replay watchers. My name is Patrick, creator of All Day I Eat Like a Shark, where I share my Japanese recipes, gardening tips, and travel tips. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a potato salad, as well as some miso marinated chicken, and Moyashi Goma Ae, or sweet sesame soy dressed bean sprouts. So I have most of my things ready to go here. The first thing that I'm going to do, I guess before we get started, is start with the potatoes. So we're going to microwave these potatoes. I have about 8 Yukon Gold potatoes. I'm just going to microwave them for about 10 minutes. That's a quick way to cook them. You can also steam them if you want. And while we're waiting for that, we can prepare everything else. So the recipes are on my site. If you want to just search, I will link them in the video after the fact as well. So you can search for either Moyashi, M-O-Y-A-S-H-I, or potato salad, and you should be able to find the recipes right away. Let's see. So I'm going to keep it simple today. I'm not going to do too much different camera angles or titles or anything like that. And we'll go ahead and get this thing going. So for the potato salad, we're going to use 1 cucumber, 1 carrot, about 1/2 of a red onion, and about 2/3 cup of Kewpie mayonnaise, and a little bit of black pepper, and a little bit of salt, and a little bit of white pepper. So that's going to be our seasoning. It's pretty classic. Tastes delicious. You can eat it with any kind of barbecue or meat or fish, and it goes really well. I like to actually eat it with rice. I like my carbs. So first thing I'm going to do is peel the carrot. We'll throw this in with the potatoes to soften it up. We're going to chop these into little bits, and then we'll slice the cucumber. I'm going to also peel this a little bit to give it a little bit of a different look. It's totally optional. And cut off the ends. So first, the carrots, you want to cut these up into little bite-sized pieces. Unless you want big chunks, you could do that also. But I like to cut them in half and then into quarters. So they're little quarter circles. Okay. And then when I microwave these, you can just do them for about 2 to 3 minutes, and they should soften up pretty nicely. The onions I don't cook. You can cook them, I guess, in the microwave if you want to, but I like them with a little bit of bite when they're raw, so that's the way that we're going to eat them today. So we're just going to slice these into tiny little bits as well. And I guess I should start my we're going to blanch the moyashi for about a minute, cool it off. So I have water here in a pot ready to go. I also have my grill pan over here. We're going to grill the chicken that I've marinated in miso. This is the same miso marinade that I use for the fish, so you can reuse it, and it tastes delicious. So if you didn't catch that recipe from last time, it is available on my site as well as on my YouTube channel, so check it out if you haven't already. And I guess question of the day, whoa, I don't know what is going on there, sorry about that. I think my I programmed my little thing to go and display things automatically, and it's not working the way that I intended it to. I tell you, this stuff is complicated. Cooking is easy, this live streaming stuff is complicated. Hello Orand, long time no see, good to have you. How's everything going? Oh yeah, so question of the day. I don't think I had a question, I asked my question yet. Question of the day, what is your favorite thing to put in potato salad? I like to put in pickles, bell peppers, capers, olives, But today we're just going to keep it pretty simple. And these are actually really big chunks of cucumber. I got distracted while I was talking, and I was originally going to use my mandolin. Man, I need to turn off this overlay here. Sorry about that. Okay, overlay's off, so that shouldn't be coming up anymore. Good to hear that you're doing great. All right, so when you hear the potatoes cooking, you're going to hear them like going in the microwave. Don't worry, they're not going to explode. They're not like eggs, but you do want to rotate them a little bit. So I did first 5 minutes and 30 seconds, and then we're going to rotate them a little bit. I'll do it for another 3 minutes or so, and then we're going to throw in the carrots and cook those for another 2 minutes, and that'll be about 10 minutes total. And when you know that the potatoes are done, when you can poke it with a chopstick and it goes right through. So we'll do that test in a few minutes. Okay. So I realized last video I was going to show you my kasuzuka fish that I was marinating. I actually totally got distracted and didn't show you guys. So sorry about that. I will show you how it looks possibly later this week or next week. And okay, so these red onions are ready to go also. You can also substitute yellow onion or green onions if you have those. But I wanted to do red today. All right, so here's my vegetables. Water is going. Here's the potatoes. Just gonna move these around a little bit so they cook evenly. And then after they're done cooking, to help cool them down quicker, I'm gonna run them under cold water. So it's just a little trick you can try. So these are going to go back in. I don't think they're done yet. Yeah. So these are going to go back in for about 3.5 minutes. And then we're going to throw in the carrots and do it another 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. So while the water is boiling, since our potato salad ingredients are done, we are going to go ahead and prepare all of the ingredients for the Moyashi Goma Ae. It's pretty straightforward. So this is 1/2 pound bag. Actually, this is a 16-pound bag, so we'll just use about half of it. 16 ounces, not pounds. I have a teaspoon of white sugar, a tablespoon of soy sauce mixed with a teaspoon of sesame oil and a teaspoon of sake. And then I have 3 tablespoons of white sesame seeds. So if you want to get a close-up there. I'm going to toast these. They have not been toasted yet. Toasting brings out additional flavor, so I recommend that you do that. Whenever you use any kind of seeds, I guess sesame seeds in particular, since that's what we're talking about. So watch them closely. Do it on medium-low heat so that they don't burn. Just give them a little jiggle every now and then. I'm going to go ahead and spray my grill pan here with some nonstick. Because the chicken has the miso marinade on it, it burns easily, so if you don't spray with cooking oil, it'll stick. And you want to make sure that you preheat whatever you're using. So if you're using a barbecue, obviously preheat it like you usually would. If you're going to use a grill pan, like the one I have right here, it's a enameled grill pan. Make sure that you preheat that adequately as well. So I'm just going to put it on medium heat right now and let it preheat for about 2 minutes or so before we put on the chicken, and then we'll grill one side and then flip it over. Okay, so like I said, teaspoon of sugar. We're going to mix it with all this other stuff right here. And this is going to be our base sauce for the Goma Ae. And I'm going to blanch all of this, but we're going to just use about half. Okay. So not boiling, but almost. We're going to go ahead and grind all the sesame seeds in the suribachi here. If you don't have one of these, they sell them on Amazon. They're like 20 bucks. I think it's the same one that I got. And you can have fresh ground sesame seeds. Tastes delicious, and it's very easy to use. You just go in circles. Okay, I'm turning off the heat for my sesame seeds. They should be about done. Smell nice and sesame seedy, so I'm going to put them in here, and we're going to grind them. And once we're done grinding them, we're just going to combine it with the sauce. So the sake, the shoyu, the soy sauce, sesame oil, and sugar. Just trying to give you a good look here in the second camera. All right. So it sounds like my potatoes are done. It's gotten quite hot, so be careful. Let's see if we can poke it now with a chopstick. Almost, so they're getting there. Obviously, if you have really big potatoes, they might take a little bit longer. These are about maybe 3 inches by 2 inches or so thick. Okay, so now we're just going to add in the carrots and do it for another 2 to 3 minutes. So you could boil your potatoes, that's what I used to do, but I find it's much faster and easier to microwave. Okay, so back to grinding the sesame seeds. You don't have to do it 100%, I just do maybe 50%. You could do 100% if you want, but I like to have the bite of whole sesame seeds, so that's why I don't do it all the way. It smells really nutty. Okay, so here's how it looks. It's about halfway ground. Set that aside, and then go ahead, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and put all the seeds into here. It's a little bit easier to clean. Okay, so this is going to be our sauce for the bean sprouts. All right, so here's that. It smells delicious. Soy sauce, sesame oil, sesame seeds. Good match. All right, so the water's boiling. I'm just going to dump all this in here. I'm going to cook it for about a minute. Drain it under cold water and cool it. And then after that, we'll just add on the dressing, and then it'll be ready to eat. Our potatoes are just going to be about done. Looks like our grill pan is hot. I'm going to go ahead and put on this chicken. Actually, I'm going to wait until turn on the heat first. I'm going to wait till this is done, and then we'll throw on the chicken. Doing too many things at once. Okay. All right, so that's ready. I'm gonna just dump this out. You don't want to overcook your moyashi or bean sprouts because they're gonna get mushy. Okay, so the potatoes should be done. I'm gonna just cool off the bean sprouts here with cold water. And actually, I'm going to use a little bit of ice. Ice speeds up the process of cooling. And I actually like my Moyashi Goma Ae to be a little bit cold rather than warm. So ice is a cool way. I use the same. It's a fast way to cool whatever it is that you just cooked. I use the same technique when cooking spinach, cold noodles like somen or hiyashi chuka like we made, or somen was what we made last week. And then you want to give the moyashi a little bit of a squeeze so that any of the excess water that is coating the bean sprouts will not dilute this sauce. So watch what happens when I squeeze. There'll be a little bit of water that comes out. So you want to get rid of that as much as possible. So I'm just going to squeeze. Okay, so there's almost half of it. Put it over here so you guys can see it. Just do a little bit more. Okay, so that's about a ½ pound. Roughly, where'd all my towels go? Maybe about 2.5 cups worth of moyashi. Oh yeah, my potatoes should be done too. Okay. Let's go ahead and poke it with a chopstick. Yep, see how easily it went right in? I didn't even have to push that hard. So these are done. I'm going to go ahead and cool these under cold running water. Set this over here. And we'll use this same bowl to mix the salad. Okay, so my grill pan is hot. I'm going to put on the chicken. So these have been marinating for about 2 days. And these are just chicken breasts. I pounded them with my mallet like we did with the sake marinated chicken last week. Helps to enhance the flavor. And since this marinade's been used twice, I'm just going to throw it away. Actually, I'm going to drain it. And then throw it away. Alright, so watch your chicken closely so it doesn't burn. I'm going to turn on the exhaust fan. Back to the moyashi that we keep getting distracted from. So I'm just going to put in all of the dressing. So Goma Ae you can use for a lot of different vegetables, like green beans, spinach. You can even buy the packs. I have packs. When I don't feel like making it from scratch, you can just use this stuff. It's equivalent to this, but this tastes obviously much better since we just made it from scratch. Okay, so this is just about done. So here's the Moyashi Goma Ae. We have one dish down, and the next thing that we're going to do is the potato salad, so we'll just put that together. Chicken is cooking, and it's going to be dinner time pretty soon. I hope this is making you hungry, and yes, bean sprouts do cook that easily. You don't even have to cook them actually, you could just pickle them or you can eat them raw. One of my favorite ways to eat bean sprouts is with pho, which is a Vietnamese noodle soup, and they serve them raw. You just add them to soup and they're very crunchy and they taste delicious. Okay, so potato salad. I think this bowl's a little warm. I'm going to let this cool down. Actually, I'm just going to use a different bowl. You never want to put something cold in a hot glass container because it might shatter. I have done that before on accident. It's no fun. I guess I should tell you a story. So me and Emmy made apple pie bars. And if you've ever made apple pie or apple pie bars, you'll know that it takes a lot of work to peel all of the apples and then cut them up, and then you have to bake it, and then you have to make the filling, you have to make the crust, and then you have to make a crumble. So we spent like 3 or 4 hours putting it all together, and we baked it in a Pyrex dish, and we put it in the oven. When it was done, we took it out. This was during the winter time, so the counter was really cold. I think we put it on some oven mitts and then on the counter, but I guess it was cold enough that the Pyrex had temperature shock from being put on the cold counter, and it shattered. That was the biggest disappointment ever out of any baking experience after all that work. Has anything like that ever happened to you? Let me know. Okay, so I think these potatoes are just about cooled. So I'm going to add them. Some of the carrots fell in here. I'm going to flip over the chicken. I think they should be about ready to be flipped. Ooh. So I got some nice tiger stripe grill marks going right there. Turn down the heat a little bit so it doesn't burn. Okay, so we're going to put in the onions. We're just going to mix everything together. So my original recipe called for ham. I don't have ham, so we're not going to use it today. You could throw in, if you want protein, you can throw in a little bit of tuna, a little bit of smoked salmon, smoked trout, egg, hard-boiled egg. It's another classic. This is going to be pretty straightforward. We have plenty of protein from the chicken. And yeah, so there's all that. I'm going to chop up these potatoes. You can also mash them. Let me see. I'm just going to chop them and then mash them a little bit with a fork. So you can see they're thoroughly cooked. A little bit warm. But potato salad always tastes better the next day, doesn't it? At least in my opinion. All right, these are a little bit warm still, but that's okay. You get all the carrots in there. So what makes this Japanese, obviously, is the mayonnaise. Kewpie mayonnaise, Japanese mayonnaise, tastes different from American mayonnaise. We're going to use about 2/3 of a cup, which is a pretty good amount. This comes in a squeeze bottle, if you've never seen this before. Don't skip on the mayonnaise because that's where all the flavor comes from. Okay, so that's about 2/3 of a cup. Grab a, actually I'll use a wooden spatula. Just gonna mash all this together. Save a couple potatoes in case I want to dilute the flavor a little bit. We'll just start with this. Your mom broke a Pyrex on the stovetop. Oh no. I bet that was kind of scary. So I'm just mixing this. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can have big chunks of potato if that's the way you like it. And for flavoring, we're going to use a couple dashes of salt. I'm going to use my pink salt. Pink salt, I thought it would taste different from regular salt. I can't tell the difference. Supposedly it has minerals. This is the Himalayan pink salt. I think it's just a marketing gimmick, to be honest. I don't know, you can tell me if you think otherwise. We're going to use some white pepper for a little bit of a kick. And then fresh cracked black pepper. This makes a big difference when you use fresh cracked pepper. For years and years and years, I did not use fresh cracked pepper, and when I started using fresh cracked pepper, never looked back. Huge flavor improvement. All right. So I think my chicken is almost just about done. I'm going to check it on the bottom. I'm going to turn off the heat. Okay, so now we'll add in the mayo. So like I said, this potato salad could be good for barbecue. Doesn't have to be Japanese barbecue. It could be any kind of barbecue. Could be good for a potluck. It's pretty simple to make, as you can see. I think I'm going to need to add in the other potatoes here. So there's a lot of mayo. Yeah, just throw in one more potato. Okay. So we are just about done. Yeah, can you believe it's already summer? It's already halfway through June. This year's going by so fast. All right, so this looks really good, doesn't it? Smells really good. And we can do a taste test in a little bit. Thanks. I think the potatoes look nice too. Let's see how they taste. So, just get a little chunk over here. Ten out of 10. Wish that you guys could taste this as well. Maybe one day I'll have in-person cooking classes, who knows. Delicious. Okay, so let's go ahead and taste the moyashi. This will even taste better tomorrow after it gets to marinate in the mayo for a few more hours. The moyashi, I would advise that you eat the same day because I feel like the water gets drawn out of the bean sprouts if you leave them overnight. I think that's what happened last time. And it looks like it's already, you can already see the liquid coming out a little bit. So recommend that you eat this the same day that you make it. See how this tastes? Ten out of 10. Give myself a high five. Okay, so the chicken, let's go ahead and try the chicken. Oh yeah. So see what I was talking about? The miso burns easily. That's why you got to watch it closely. And see the other side. But if you were doing this on a grill, you'd have a lot more and a lot smaller tiger marks, or burn marks, tiger stripes, whatever you want to call them. Make sure that you don't overcook your chicken as you take it off. Okay, and I'll just cut a little piece of the chicken and taste it. So like I said, this chicken marinade was the same one that I used for the fish. I wouldn't recommend using it more than twice because you are putting raw food into the marinade, so just a thought. I don't know if you've made that kind of a thing before. Do you use it? Do you use marinades that many times, 2 or 3, more than 3 times? And yes, the the bean sprouts are crunchy. Sorry if it's noisy with the mic. If you overcook the bean sprouts, they'll be a little bit soft and mushy. So that's why you got to watch them closely. Do it for about a minute and then shock them in cold water to stop the cooking. So yeah. So miso marinated chicken. Get off some of this burned part. You could broil the chicken also if you wanted to, but you obviously won't get the little grill marks. Delicious. Okay. So, can you believe it? It's already been about 35 minutes or so since we started. We did 3 things today. We did Moyashi Goma Ae, bean sprouts with sesame soy dressing, potato salad, Japanese style, and miso marinated chicken, which I marinated a couple days ago. Same marinade that I used for the misoyaki, the gindara misoyaki. That was, I think, episode 1 of season 2, Japanese Live Cooking 2018, summer edition. I think this is a lot to cover today, so don't get overwhelmed. I hope that I showed you that it's easy to do. And yeah, they're not too burnt. It's one of my pet peeves is eating anything that's burnt, like pizza, pizza dough, pizza crust, hot dogs. I remember when I was in baseball camp, when I was a kid, I think I was probably 8 or 9, and after baseball practice, one of the coaches did a barbecue. This was during summer, so it was like a barbecue thing. I think it was every day or every other day, something like that. And the hot dogs that they served, that he cooked on the barbecue, were like scorched. Like they were like so burnt. It was disgusting. So I try not to burn my food. Anyways, so I think next week, just to give you a little tease, I think I'm going to do something with tofu. I may make it. I don't know yet. I did buy a jug of soy milk that I've been meaning to use, so I'm going to probably make some tofu this week. And if you have any requests or suggestions for next time or future episodes, let me know. Leave me a comment. Other than that, my recipes are available on my site, like I said, allday8.com. Just search for potato salad or bean sprouts to get these two. And search for, actually this miso marinade is still on the front page, so you'll see it if you just go to the main site. Other than that, I hope the video quality came through. I've been testing out this setup here. This is my 3rd time using it. I'll see if I can incorporate the chat back in next time, and also a little bit of outside video, and which I guess they would call pre-roll and end roll. So a little bit of video at the beginning, a little bit of video at the end, and hopefully things will be smooth sailing after this. So appreciate you guys tuning in, and if this is your first time here, welcome. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Make sure to share this if you thought it was useful, to show your friends. Hello, Vicky. Glad to see you here. It's been a while. Hope that everything's going well over there. Yeah. So next Wednesday, 6 o'clock Pacific time, we will be cooking something with tofu. I don't know if I'm going to do a bunch of things like this. You guys can let me know if you liked it when I cook a bunch of things, or if I should just concentrate on one thing. Ooh, Ron wants to see something with seaweed. Camera quality is great. Thanks for the feedback. I'm glad that it's great. I'd be pretty sad if it wasn't great. Especially because today I usually take a backup recording of my camera, but I did not. I did not turn on my DSLR, so there's no backup. So this is all that I have. Seaweed. So what kind of seaweed? Are you talking about kelp, like kombu, the thick seaweed? Are you talking about dried seaweed, like nori, what they use to wrap sushi with? What kind of seaweed are you talking about? Waiting. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, but let me know what kind of seaweed you're talking about, what suggestions you have, and okay, any kind. All right, I will see if I can incorporate that. So make sure you keep an eye out for my next live stream, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in and have a great rest of your week.